Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Casablanca by Michael Curtiz, starring Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. I'm sure there are other famous actors, but I mainly recognize these two legends. I don't believe I've seen or heard of this director before, but I'll have to look it up just to be sure. Casablanca, it's a film that I missed out on when I was watching quite a few classics from this time period. I've watched Gone with the Wind and Lawrence of Arabia, but I never got around to watching Casablanca properly. I mean, I did see it running on TV over the years, and even on a date once, but I obviously wasn't paying attention to the movie. But I know that this film is considered an all-time classic and one of the greatest films of all time. So there's that. I know that it's a romantic drama during World War II set in Casablanca, French Morocco. That's about it. I really hope I enjoyed this film as it is considered timeless. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 150 movies, TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below, by the way. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike if you didn't. Not that it matters. With all that being said, let's get started. Casablanca, Curtiz, Bogart, Bergman. Let's go.
With the coming of the Second World War,
All
many
right.
eyes in imprisoned Europe turned hope.
This is in the middle of the Second World War.
Paris to Marseille.
To all officers, 2 German couriers carrying important official documents murdered on train from Oran. Murderer on...
So 2 German officers are escaping with important documentation.
I don't think I have them on me.
In that case, we'll have to ask you to come along.
Wait, it's possible that, yes.
That's suspicious.
These papers expired 3 weeks ago. You have to come along.
There was no bullet wound. Have they already found the papers they were looking for? Liberté, fraternité. That's France's motto. That's a lot of extras, regardless of where this film was shot.
Perhaps tomorrow we'll be on the plane.
And they're all dreaming of escaping. And I think I saw Rick's American Cafe.
Already who the murderer is.
Good. Is he in custody?
Oh, there's no hurry. Tonight he'll be at Rick's. Everybody comes.
Rick's. We've seen that before.
Can't you make it just a little more?
Sorry, madame, but diamonds are a drug on the market. Everybody sells diamonds.
They're selling their diamonds to get away.
It's the fishing smacks.
And avoiding the Germans.
Waiter,
Yes, madame.
will you ask Rick if he'll have a drink with us?
Madame, he never drinks with customers.
Rick. I like how the director is not even showing him properly and building his reputation by talking about him in the third person.
I hope you are more impressed with me now. If you'll forgive me,
Why is he
I'll
trying to
share my
impress
good luck
him
with
if he's leaving the next day?
Couriers were carrying letters of transit.
Are these the letters?
Oh, I've heard that rumor too.
Sneaky, sneaky devil. These are the letters. Or the papers.
But knock on wood. Now who's that? Once again, let's knock on wood.
That was a good performance, my man.
What's this private stock? Because Yvonne, I love you.
Oh, shut up.
All right, all right. For you, I shut up. I love you.
Oh, wow. He doesn't accept German money.
Where were you last
Interesting. That's a statement
So long
right
ago, I
there.
don't remember.
Gives more insight into his character.
What a fool I was to fall for a man like
So go with her, Sasha, and be sure she gets home.
Yes, boss.
And come right back.
Yes, boss.
He's here just for business. Wow. Is that a prop or an actual plane taking off? I'd be interested in finding out.
If you're thinking of warning him, don't put yourself out. He cannot possibly escape.
I stick my neck out for nobody.
Wise foreign policy.
Oh man, I think it's that man with the papers who gave it to Rick.
In fact, I wanted to give you a word of advice.
Yeah? Yeah, brandy?
Thank you.
He's not a customer, that's why he's drinking with him.
Rick, Laszlo must never reach America. He stays in Casablanca.
I don't think he's the person, Rick is the person to betray someone just like that.
In Casablanca, I am master of my fate. I am
Major
captain...
Strasser's here, sir.
Hey, you were saying?
Excuse me.
You always have a boss. Although these sets don't look very authentic, I have to admit they're very well made.
Very interesting club. Especially so tonight, Major. In a few minutes, you'll see the arrest of the man who murdered your couriers.
Oh, they got him.
Yes? Will you please come with us?
Thank you.
I don't think things will end well for this man. I think Rick's in trouble now because if they interrogate him, he might reveal the fact that Rick has the papers.
Mind if I ask you a few questions? Unofficially, of course.
Make it official if you like.
What is your nationality?
I'm a drunkard. Yes, monsieur. I reserve the table. Victor Laszlo.
Yes, Monsieur Laszlo.
This is Victor Laszlo, but we all know who that is. That's one of the most beautiful women in cinema history.
We shouldn't stay here.
If you would walk out so soon, it would only call attention to us. Perhaps Bogart is in some other part of the cafe.
They're intentionally here, hiding in plain sight. That's really... Wow, okay, that's a beautiful falsetto. So is she going to fall in love with Rick the first time she lays her eyes on him? Is that the love story?
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Miss Elsa. I never expect to see you again.
They know each other.
Must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh. And
I think she's reminiscing, thinking about
they still
time gone by. She definitely has history with Rick, or else the director wouldn't hold that shot with her looking so sad.
Sam, I thought I told you never to play.
Oh, I think for the first time you're seeing real emotions in Rick's eyes.
Rick, and here he is, Mademoiselle. May I...
Great acting by Bogart.
Won't you join us for a drink?
Oh, no, Rick.
Well,
Never.
thanks, I will.
Well,
Never drinks
the
with
precedent
customers.
is being broken.
So it is.
And we have a curfew here in Casablanca. It would never do for the chief of police to be found drinking after hours and have to fine himself.
Nope, she's giving the look. Yeah, there's definitely jealousy in Victor Laszlo's eyes. So it's being set up almost as a love triangle. And Rick clearly has feelings for Lund. Yeah, back in the day, I don't think there were too many different types of lenses to play with because everything looks like it's in focus, so the focal length must have been long.
No, sir. I'm staying right here.
This is Paris. It's a flashback. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like they were actually in love. Oh, the German occupation has begun. Okay, I have to ask whether this is stock footage of the real invasion of France? Or, yeah, it has to be, okay.
I'm on that blacklist already. Their roll of honor.
That's why he has to go to, or make his way to Casablanca.
Die deutschen Truppen stehen vor den Toren von Paris. Eure Hauptstadt ist ohne jegliche Verteidigung.
It sounds German.
But be serious, darling. You are in danger and you must leave
No,
Paris.
no. We must leave.
I'll meet you at the station.
All right. At 4:45. Say, why don't we get married, Marge?
She's hiding something.
Well, let's see.
I also like her acting as well.
Why can't he marry us on the train?
Darling.
Oh, why not?
Physically hiding her head because I don't think she wants to lie outright. I cannot go with you, ever see you again. You must go and not ask why. You believe I love you, so my darling, and God bless you. Oh, she didn't even give him a reason. And we're back to the present. Looks like he actually almost finished the bottle himself. And she's here. He was right.
I remember the last one. The wow
finish. A guy standing on a station platform in the rain with a...
He opened up for her a whole beautiful world full of knowledge and thoughts and ideals. Everything she needed.
Neither one of our stories is very funny.
I'm with Rick for now, and I understand his cynicism. It's not like you didn't deserve that, Ilsa. You could have just told the truth.
You would find the conversation a trifle one-sided.
Because
Senor Bogart is dead.
He's dead.
There's something I want to talk over with you, anyhow. The bourbon. The news about Ugarte upsets me very much.
You're a fat...
Oh.
I'll tell him when he comes in.
Rick, I'll put my cards on the table. I think you know where those letters are.
Yep. He's indirectly admitting it. That he might at least know the person who has the letters.
I move to make one more suggestion. Why, I do not know, because it cannot possibly profit me. Have you heard about Senor Ugarte and the letters of transit? Not for sure, monsieur. But I'll venture to guess that Ugarte left those letters with Monsieur Rick.
He's pointing them towards Rick again.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, more German officers.
I'll make it my business.
Yeah, I don't think you want to mess with the Germans when you're outnumbered.
Oh, too bad. We'll find him over there.
Monsieur Rick?
Yes?
Could I speak to you for just a moment, please?
How'd you get in here? You're underage.
I came with Captain...
Underage? She's less than 18?
You decided to go to America.
Yes, but we have not much money, and traveling is so expensive. If someone loved you very much, so that your happiness was the only thing that she wanted in the world.
Do you want my advice?
Oh, yes, please.
Go back to Bulgaria.
Oh, but if you knew what it means to us to leave Europe, to get to America.
See, here we are.
Getting away from it all, getting away from the war.
Sam. I suppose
That's something to think about.
Right
I was about to ask why they're both here again, but they're here for the papers. But he's bitter because he feels betrayed.
What happened with Rick?
We'll discuss it later.
Why she left like that, or what exactly happened.
Did he give any reason?
He suggested I ask you.
Ask me.
I am so stupid. I just realized he was in the concentration camp while she was in Paris. I didn't put two and two together. She never told him that she loves Laszlo, but we've heard her saying that she loves Rick multiple times on screen.
You don't help us, Victor. Laszlo will die in Casablanca.
What of it? I'm gonna die in Casablanca. It's a good spot for it.
Come on, dude. Show if you care.
Go ahead and shoot. You'll be doing me a favor.
She still loves him, so she can't. Yeah, I think he's come around, at least somewhat.
Tried to get word. Then it came. He was dead, shot trying to escape.
She believed that he was dead.
Just before you and I were to leave Paris together, a friend came and told me that Victor was alive. They were hiding him in a freight car on the outskirts of Paris. He was sick. He needed me.
That's why she needed to leave. I don't think he's looking at you, kid.
Carl, what happened?
The police break up our meeting, Harry. We escaped in the last moment.
Come up here a minute.
Come, I will do it.
Sasha was the bartender.
I want you to take Miss Lund home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Rick is finally going to help Laszlo.
We both should be in love with the same woman. The first evening I came into this cafe, there was
He
something
knew all along.
Since no one is to blame, I demand no explanation.
What a good man. What an interesting shot of Rick trying to decide what to do.
Yes, I have the letters. I intend using them myself. I'm leaving Casablanca on tonight's plane, the last plane.
Huh?
Whoa.
One you'll appreciate. Ilsa Lund.
Oh.
Put your mind to rest about my helping Laszlo escape. arrange to have Laszlo come there to pick up the letters of transit, and that'll give you the criminal grounds on which to make the arrest.
Should we draw up papers, or is a handshake good enough?
Certainly not good enough, but since I'm in a hurry, it'll have to do. Well, so long.
So he's selling his entire place, making sure Sam gets his cut and the rest of the staff stay too. But will Rick betray the couple, Laszlo in particular?
The letter's right here.
Tell me, when we searched the place, where were they?
Sam's piano.
Oh!
Richard, Victor thinks I'm leaving with him. Haven't you told him?
No, not yet. Please trust me.
Mr. Blaine, I don't know how to thank you.
I'll save it. We've still lots of things to do.
Oh man, that's a self-sacrifice.
Victor Laszlo? Victor Laszlo, you're under arrest.
Oh no!
My friend Ricky, the explanation is quite simple. Love, it seems, has triumphed over virtue. Thank...
Not so.
I knew it!
Louis, I wouldn't like to shoot you, but I will if you take one more step.
Under the circumstances, I will sit down.
Ah!
Is that the airport? This is Captain Renault speaking.
Oh no!
With 2 letters of transit for the Lisbon plane. Good. Hello? Hello?
He informed the Germans.
Louis, have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage.
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say.
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
No. Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you, kid.
She did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. That was all over long ago. For your sake, she pretended it wasn't, and I let her pretend.
I understand.
Wow.
Thanks.
Even fixed their marriage for them.
Try, Rick.
I know a little about women, my friend. She went, but she knew you were lying.
There you go, exactly.
I'll have to arrest you, of course.
As soon as the plane goes, Louis.
It's bound for Lisbon, Portugal.
Why do you stand here? Why don't you stop him? Ask Monsieur Rick. Get me the radio tower.
Put it down.
Oh! That's a death sentence. A death sentence for Rick. If the other Germans find out. What you gonna do, Renault?
The usual suspects.
Ah! That was another twist I did not see coming. He was like a sleazeball the entire film, but he really came through at the end. Especially after the Major got killed.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. I'm pretty sure I've heard that before too. I don't know where exactly, but what a bittersweet ending. Okay, I took a little time to collect my thoughts. First off, what's not to love here? That was a classic bittersweet love story through and through. Even though it was set during the war, the story itself, it's timeless. I actually enjoyed the movie more than I thought I would, mostly because how well the core story has aged. I would consider the strengths of the film to be the writing, the performances, the direction, and the excellent music. Whereas the main weakness of the film was probably its limited scope. I don't think I can blame the director or studio for this, because we have to remember that this film was made right in the middle of the deadliest war in history. Let's start with the direction by Michael Curtiz and the script by Julius and Philip Epstein and Howard Koch. From the credits, I saw that the movie was based on a play, and since I haven't seen the play itself, my review is going to be from the movie itself. Michael Curtiz doesn't take any time introducing us to Rick and his cafe. What I found interesting is, instead of showing Rick to the audience directly, he chooses the opening couple of minutes to talk about him through other characters. This is so important. It really helped the audience get a feel for who Rick is perceived to be. Not the real Rick, not the real person. The real Rick is slowly revealed to us over the course of the movie. He is initially set to be snobbish, arrogant, a businessman who doesn't care about much, and a person who doesn't even drink with his own customers. It's implied that he has a reputation about himself, and most people, and I wouldn't say most, a lot of people know that he's been driven out of Paris for some unknown reason. A beautiful flashback shows us Rick and Ilsa falling in love in Paris before getting separated. I'm using the word separated a little loosely, as we see Rick getting left behind by Elsa on a train platform, which obviously he gets heartbroken by that. The why here is intentionally kept a mystery throughout the runtime almost, till it's explained slowly. And I think the movie was better off for it. We are introduced around this time to Ilsa's husband, Laszlo, a resistance leader escaping the Nazis. The story slowly comes together as we realize the real reason Ilsa had to leave Rick was the fact that she thought her husband was dead in a concentration camp. Ilsa was clearly in love with Rick by that point, but her reasons for going back to her husband were very justified. She was married after all, even if it left Rick bitter and lone. One thing I noticed was how we saw Ilsa saying that he loved Rick multiple times during the runtime, but we never heard her say that she loves her husband. Make that, I don't know, like, I feel like even at the end she was more in love with Rick than anybody else, her husband mostly, but they're both adults and they know what this means. Rick realizes that if he left with Ilsa, one day she'll wake up and regret it. Maybe not that day, maybe years later. That particular scene was probably my favorite in the entire movie, as we see Rick change his views over the course of the film. He had an excellent story arc, and I have to question whether that makes him a very relatable character. We can all relate to Rick to some degree, I guess. His sacrifice at the end, knowing that he in all likelihood might be killed the next minute, really redeemed his earlier brash and snobbish behavior. At the end of the day, the man really cared and wanted Ilsa to be happy, even if she didn't end up being with him. That's a big man. I have a few words about Captain Renault. I didn't know whether to like him or hate him till I realized that he was written as a morally complex character with shifting loyalties. That's very realistic. As he put it, he moves with the wind. I think that's what he said. Anyways, he was an opportunist at heart, and I think he didn't want to die by the hands of the Germans. Again, that's justifiable. Also, Laszlo, he was shown to be a good man. At no point was he shown to be an antagonist or a negative force of any kind. I really liked that about the writing. It just made the story even more bittersweet because both men loved the same girl. Kurtz's direction was fantastic overall, especially those long shots of the faces of Bergman and Bogart. He really captured their emotions and let the actors what they do best: act. Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman, they were fantastic in their roles. Honestly, their subtle facial expressions really captured beautifully on camera. And even though I was rooting for them to end up together, I was very, very satisfied with the conclusion. I was a little apprehensive initially about Ilsa's motivations, as you can see from my reactions, for leaving, but it made sense by the end. I think she would have regretted it at some point in the future. The cinematography was pretty good for the time period. I didn't expect to be blown away by amazing camera work or beautiful landscape shots or anything. The film was made during a war, so we have to let that pass. I think most, if not the entire film, was shot on set. We did see some stock footage or archival footage of planes and stuff, but I don't think that was shot for the film. I think that was real. Although the sets and locations, they were beautifully made, they were clearly sets. Another observation I made was the impressive number of nationalities shown in Casablanca. It was very diverse, although you have to admit the accents were not on point at all. I mean, the Germans didn't sound German. Also, another thing I really enjoyed were the excellent costume designs. I couldn't tell you how accurate they were because I don't have a historical reference for that location for that particular period in history, but I really felt like they were very well done. The main criticism I had of the film was the limited scope in filmmaking. We did not get a sense of this enormous scale of the war here. It was it was more an intimate story, a love story about a love triangle, these three people. And I think that was the point. But apart from that, overall, Casablanca was truly a timeless classic, a bittersweet love story that I won't be forgetting for a long, long time. The performances from Bogart and Bergman, they were unforgettable. The direction by Michael Curtiz was excellent, and even though some parts of the film felt a little limited in scope, I can confidently say that the core story, the love triangle, aged remarkably well. It's so relatable even today. This is a film worth watching over and over and over again. Thank you, and I highly recommend this film. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video. Dislike it if you didn't. Not that it matters. I will see you in the next one. Bye.